Hey guys, Kyle with Max Conversion here with you today to walk you through how to set up Google Ads conversion tracking on your website and inside your Google Ads account. We're going to be focusing on setting up form conversion tracking as well as phone call conversion tracking. This is different than if you're running e-commerce ads. So if you're running e-commerce ads, look at another video on how to set up conversion tracking. But if you're looking to count phone calls and form submissions as conversions, this is the perfect video for you. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is log into your Google Ads account, as well as you're going to want to set up a Google Tag Manager account, which is this right here. So tagmanager.google.com, set up the code on your website. You'll go to when you're set. If you don't have a Google Tag Manager account already set up, it'll present this code to you. If you guys do already have it set up, but it's not set up on your website yet, just go over to admin, click on install Google Tag Manager, and then paste this code in the header section as well as the body section. But once you do that, what you're going to want to do is when you're logged into Google Ads, the first thing we're going to do is go over to goals, and we want to track phone calls and form submissions. So let's start with form submissions first. So the first thing we're going to want to do is set up a new conversion action. And what we're going to click on is website. We're going to type in the domain. And for this domain, we're just going to use testcompany.com and scan it. It will scan it. And what we're going to do from there is we are going to want to add a conversion action manually. Now we want to do submit lead form, and you guys can name it whatever you'd like. So we'll just name it submit lead form here. This really varies for each company, but primarily what we do is we either do don't use a value or we use the same value for what you want to value a conversion at for a form submission. So in this case, we're just not going to use a value. It doesn't matter either way. We want to count one. The difference between these two is if the same user submits a form 3 times, it'll count as 3 conversions compared to one where it only counts as one. This is okay set at 30 days, this is okay set at 3 days, and this is okay set at 1 day. We like to attribute it to the last click instead of data driven. That way it's attributing to the last click that they clicked on for your ad instead of multiple clicks. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is select save and continue. And so once we hit save and continue, we'll go back to the submit lead form. We'll go to tag setup, and then we'll select use Google Tag Manager. So now we'll jump over to Google Tag Manager. We'll go to tags, and what we'll first do is we will set up a conversion linker tag on the website. So we're going to set it up here, conversion linker, all pages, and select save. Next, we're going to set up the form submission tracking. So we'll go to Google Ads, conversion tracking, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is copy the conversion ID here. Let me copy this and select it here and select the conversion label. So just copy paste. If you guys do have a conversion value, add it there, but if not, no worries. Next thing we're going to want to do is the way I like to have it set up. There's 2 ways you guys can set it up. The first way is you can set it up with a trigger as form submission, and you could have it on specific URLs, or you could have all forms on your website. So this is okay. You will need to test it. So I'll show you that at the end, how to test this. But the way I like to do it, and that counts, is very consistent. The easiest way to set it up is to actually not do this, because sometimes it doesn't count when you set it up as a form. Just depends on the form and the form code. I like to set it up with the thank you page. So we do view page, page view, some page view, and we'll do page URL contains thank you. So whenever somebody submits the form on your website, they're then redirected to a thank you page on your website with this. So it'd be like testcompany.com/thank you. And when they land on this page right here, then it will count as a conversion. So we'd save that as view thank you page, and then that would be our trigger here. And so that's the way we like to do it at Max Conversion, is set it up under the thank you page. And then we like to name all our tags with GA, standing for Google Ads, and then the conversion action. So next we'll jump into the phone call form submit, our phone call conversion actions. So we're going to first look at our call extensions. So what we'll want to do is go to set up a new conversion, phone calls, calls from ads using call extension. What we'll do is we'll call it call extension conversion, set our value as nothing, and we want to set it as 1. And what I'd recommend for this, guys, is I always set the minimum length of time to 0 seconds because we want all calls to count as a conversion. Sometimes you're wrapped up on the other line, or sometimes you just can't answer the phone at the moment. So setting it to 0 seconds will count all phone calls as conversions, and you don't have to have a specific minimum length of call. Now, if you answer the phone all the time and you're saying, hey, people under a minute are not good quality leads, then you can set this as 60 seconds instead of 0. But if you want to count them all, set it at 0. Click-through window is set at 30 days. And we'll change the attribution model to last click and select save. Once we're done with that, now we're going to set up phone calls on the website. So there's 2 ways to do this, but we're going to go over the primary way. Some people like to utilize clicks on the mobile website to track the phone calls. You can either do clicks on the mobile website, which is not 100% accurate by any means, or you can do calls on the website where Google actually has a forwarding number and it swaps the phone number on your website when somebody clicks on your Google ads. Some companies don't like this either because the numbers are not local. What I would recommend is, it's up to you guys, but what I would recommend is utilizing a software such as CallRail or WhatConverts, a call forwarding software that can do offline call conversion tracking. That way, anytime somebody calls into a specific number pool on your website, one, you're able to attribute it to a specific keyword, you're able to listen to the call, but really it is 100% accurate because you're tracking it from offline and integrating it to the Google Ads system. However, if you guys aren't doing that, then this will suffice for what you guys are doing. So calls to a number on your website is what you're going to want to select. We'll select continue and we'll call phone calls on the website. We will not use a conversion value again. We're going to set it to 1, and then you guys are going to want to set up the phone number. You can set it up really in any format. You can set it up in this format, or you can set it up in this format. Either one's fine. Display number, set it up in the format that you choose as well. We'll reduce the call length to 0 seconds, and we'll change the attribution model again to last clicks. Now it's giving me an invalid phone number, so what we're going to go ahead and do here is just set up a random number here in Missouri, and we will move forward. So then now we're going to use Google Tag Manager. This one's a little different. We'll go back to Google Tag Manager. We'll set up new. We'll go to Google Ads. We'll set it up for Google Ads calls from website conversion. Conversion ID, we'll copy paste conversion label. And then what we'll want to do is we'll actually want to grab the phone number that we were utilizing. So we're utilizing this phone number. So we'll utilize that phone number, put it in there, and we're good to go. So now the next thing that we're going to want to do is, this really depends on where you guys are directing traffic. Now, if you guys are directing traffic to a specific landing page, then what you're going to want to do is set up the page view as the landing page URL. You can just do equals and copy it exactly how it is. However, if you're running it to your main website, the way you're going to want to set up is all pages. That way this conversion tracking is set up across the entire website, and then you are good to go. So what we'll do is we'll save it, and we'll do phone call conversions, and then what we'll go ahead and do is select submit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to a live website and show you guys how to test this out to make sure that the conversion tracking is tracking properly. Alright guys, so the way to test this out is to select the button in the top right, select preview, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to copy and paste the URL that you want to preview. It's going to jump over to the specific landing page. Now what we're going to do is it's going to open up both the landing page with the debug section here in the URL, as well as the Google Tag Manager. So what we see here is that our phone number swap is correctly firing, which is a good sign that the phone numbers will swap. We've got our tags not fired as form submission conversion, And in this account, we have mobile website call clicks. However, it is, I believe it is paused. Actually, it is not. So I can show you guys that as well. But the form submissions is really what we're looking at because the phone numbers are already swapping. So the way we can check this out is if we go to the URL and we select thank you, make sure that you have the debug here. What we'll see here, oh, I'm sorry. What we'll see here is we actually need to remove that. And what we'll see here is that when it reaches the thank you page, the form submission conversion fires. So as long as the form submission redirects to the thank you page, it should fire. Now, with mobile website call clicks, we didn't really review that, but that's just when somebody clicks on the button to reach out and it will fire. So that's how you guys are going to check, set up conversion tracking, form submissions, call conversions, and call extensions, how you're going to verify that they're properly working. And now what your guys are going to want to do is go back to the Google Ads account. You'll check conversions, and it will say inactive. Don't be alarmed by it saying inactive. Give it some time. It'll say that the tag, it's no recent conversions, or it will say that the tag is active, but there hasn't been any action on that specific tag. So don't worry if it says inactive. You guys should be good to go. The next thing you're going to want to do is just make sure you hit submit and publish. That way your changes are published on your website and you're good to go. So if this video is helpful or you guys have any questions regarding how to set up conversion tracking, please leave a comment down below. As always, if this video is helpful, leave a like,